Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? actually were invited to play an exhibition game at the Colorado State Championship for Unified Esports, and we're super, super excited. We were honored to play here. Some of my players don't talk to people in school. They're super shy. And when they play esports, it's the first time I've seen them like smile, laugh, talk to each other, have sportsmanship. So they're on cloud nine right now. It's been amazing.
It's kind of crazy. It actually looks exactly like the things I see on YouTube. This outright is actually pretty fun. In school, to be saying the craziest things just so like they be laughing and stuff.
Yeah, I want also students to be more confident and be nice and want you all to join esports again. I love all my friends and I love all my teammates too.
This is a culmination of a lot of years of hard work in helping us at the CHSAA office really close the gap on belonging in high schools. So this is an opportunity for us to connect with kids who play video games and now have the opportunity to represent their school.
I would definitely say, like most of my experience with Unified, just do it. You do not have to be an expert. There's so much support from PlayVS. Do it and you will learn along the way. Even the kids can teach you, and it's been amazing. We really want to thank Special Olympics Colorado for this opportunity. It's been so much fun and we're really grateful.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the PlayVS Fall 25 High School Championships featuring Rocket League. And we are back once again with the Special Olympics Unified Champions schools. And we are here with our Central Division. Now, my name is Oliver Bastor, alongside by Billy and Seb. And guys, we've got ourselves our second series of the day here for our Unified and Special Olympics competition. And honestly, I'm very excited for this one. Billy, we've had a little bit of downtime, but you ready for our second series?
I'm ready. I'm pumped. Went to Starbucks earlier. I'm all set. I'm all wired. I can't wait.
How about you feeling here as we get ready for our second series of the day?
I mean, I got my coffee underway, so I'm good and ready to go. Look, I even got a Rocket League mug just in preparation for this. No, it's going to be Canute versus Delavan. I'm very excited.
Very excited, as well as we also want to mention once again the people that make this possible. We want to give a shout out to Unified. Play Unified Esports here. Competition, excitement, friendship. Unified Sports brings the best of sports to even more people by placing athletes with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team. Through Unified Sports, you too can see what Special Olympics is all about. We've got a message here from Unified Esports we'd like to show to you now.
Unified Sports is a unique opportunity to bring a competitive sport to a population that hadn't had that before.
That's what makes sports so powerful. It makes kids from all different backgrounds. It allows them to be spotlighted.
Unified Sports is the activity, I think, in a school that grabs everyone together. Whether they're participating on the field or watching from the sidelines, it gets everybody pumped and excited in seeing what Special Olympics really is all about.
Once again, a massive shout out to Special Olympics Unified Champion schools here as well for the program, for all that they provide, and all of the opportunities that provide both to the athletes as well as the students involved in this one. Billy, again, you've talked about before having the ability to work with Special Olympics and alongside them. Sounds like you're even very busy working with them right now, as you've got a whole lot coming up in the next couple of weeks here. What does it mean to be able to, these students to have this opportunity to compete, to be able to play for these championships?
No, it means a lot to people like me in the schools and stuff like that, because when I went to school, I didn't have this. And what they're doing right now, tremendous work, the Unified High School Championships throughout the U.S., Canada, Special Olympics North America and everything like that. And they're doing a tremendous job in these two schools right now. Canute, I've seen them play last year, and I've done the PlayVS. I know how they play. And you got one of the Illinois schools, it's going to be an interesting game. But Canute, last year, they were close. But they got to do better on defense, and they got to do better on offense. Last year they had a shot, they lost. But I hope this year, I'm being biased. I'd like for them to win because they had a shot last year. I'm going for them again.
How about you feeling about this one? Again, runners up last year here for Canute, but we do have two schools competing here as well. Delavan Panthers are the other side of this one, and from the conversations that we've seen, what we have seen from this team, they are just about as determined to win this one. I think both squads kind of see themselves poised for victory here in our Central Championship.
Yeah, Delavan is very determined to get into this series and take a win. DeCalzi, actually, David, was interviewed for this, and they said they were grinding throughout the course of the summer, doing everything they could to make sure that they are ready for this championship, and it might be showing early. Cynical able to get on the board.
Nice shot from the face-off right there. Canute is showing what they learned from last year. Score early, score often, and you'll win.
Keep the pressure up. Just do what you can to get it immediately off of the kickoff there. And some people might look at that and be like, but it's an extra touch from Blue. Yeah, they're getting just absolutely careened from the side by the physicality that that Canute is coming out with. So as much as it might seem like a bit of a standard play, it's anything but. That physicality was a huge factor in our last series when we saw the competition for East. Wouldn't be surprised to see it happen here again for Central. Also, won't be surprised if Cynical continues to score like this. That's 2 in a row off of a fantastic 50 on this play.
Perfect 50 off of it, honestly. It's a difficult one to show just because DeCalzi, I mean, you could see they're trying to shadow, they're trying to get the perfect angle, but that's what the Fennec is for. Cynical able to make this a 2-0 lead.
And Cynical and them learned from last year what the mistakes they made, and they've worked on the offense and defense much better from last year. They're doing a tremendous job so far right now.
30 seconds gone. We got a long game and a long series ahead of us here. We talked about this. Game 1 for the East was 5-1, and Game 2 was a 3-3 overtime. So for Delavan right now, it's definitely obviously enough time for a comeback, especially if they get a goal here. I was going to say, just focus a goal at a time. How about you focus on the first goal just inside a minute?
Ooh, that was nice, but what Canute's got to do is, if it's 2-on-2, one's got to be in the net, and no one was in the net, and Delavan High School scored right there.
50s of their own from Delavan to keep themselves in this game. Savvy, try and read this, but both the Delavan players, mid-level diamond players, and are trying to just showcase themselves here after all the training they put in throughout the course of this summer. DeCalzi gets the read off of the side wall, straight to Savvy, and we have a tie game.
That was nice right there. Bounced off the front board of the net where it was, and Delavan scored right there. Now we have a 2-2 game.
This was exactly what we wanted to see from Delavan in response. Canute got 2 goals basically off of the kickoff on the first one, and the second one was just through pure physicality and just kind of muscling their way through. Things have changed here for the goals that Delavan are starting to get. They're trying to expose that defense. We talked a lot about finding that balance between offense and defense, and as you mentioned, Billy, you just kind of got to hold somebody back. That second goal as well as the first were both just due to Canute having 2 players in the corner, maybe just colliding a little bit more than they should. They need to keep this pitch very spread if they want to be prepared, especially in moments like this. As the passing play starting to develop, Savvy, a drop down, and the shot will be denied by the post.
That was a close one right there. I mean, Canute had a shot right there. That was off the post. Oh, that was a nice bounce.
Cynical tracking this, sticking with it again in 2s. You have to play completely differently, and from the interview, David was saying just how much they were playing together, him and his teammate throughout the course. That's a shot that's saved. Great save from Savvy.
Nice one. That was a nice one from Savvy right there. Nice shot and nice save. I mean, that's what you got to do when you're 2-on-2. One's got to play offense, one's got to play defense, and right now, good defense right now so far.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's... perfectly done. What a slot.
Oh, boy. I feel a little bit bad because this is kind of what we've been talking about. It's not a bad play from Wheelchair there. It's just diving a bit aggressively without having a teammate back. It's the difficulty of 2s in moments like this where if you are that last defender, you've got 2 decisions. Try and absorb that pressure. And as we've seen with the caliber of shots, you're not always going to be able to make that save. So if you don't believe that you're going to be able to get back in time into a defensive position, you have to make a dive. It's a little more aggressive, but it will pay off in response. Cynical, dipping and diving around the defense, finds the flick and a tie.
Cynical did very good. You know, he bounced the ball and did everything. It's like the dodge roll, like dip, dodge, dip, dive, dip, and dodge. So he's doing that right now.
This is a Cynical is looking to put their team on their back, though. DeCalzi puts one on as well. You got to be quicker with these challenges. Unfortunately, it's just, you're seeing DeCalzi just be more proactive with a great save from Savvy. Man, if that's what we're doing at Diamond now, I'm very concerned about it.
Yeah, this is just showing how washed I truly am at this point, because these guys are hitting shots and hitting saves that I don't think I ever could. And so far, it's been a great back and forth from both of the teams. Halsey, also known as David here, is trying to see if he can move this one downfield. No boost in the tank, so it'll be a bit difficult. Savvy will put it back center for him and gonna back off a little bit. Again, this overwhelming offense is good, but so far, Canute has been able to stand up to the test every time.
Yeah, Canute has improved on their defense right now from last year. Last year, they left a ton of goals in without having someone on defense, and they worked on it this year.
That one is just an open transition. Perfectly done from Savvy, and you could even tell in transition they were fighting to see who could get to the ball first, but it really didn't matter. Savvy did a great job of just making sure that HCM could not get to that ball in time. 141 still within fighting distance for Canute.
There's no one there. No one there. You got to have someone there at all times. If not, something like that's going to happen. You can't have two people converge on at the same time.
Those double commits that have been such a problem so far here for Canute High School. They've had great offense, great defense in between, but it's that full send attitude that many of players in Rocket League have fallen victim to before. Fortunately for Canute, they are just another victim of that and of the fantastic defense here from Delavan High School. Savvy, a perfect drop down, and David will not miss.
Nice pass from Savvy to his partner, and Delavan right now is up 5-3 with a minute 20 left.
Perfect pass when perfectly needed, especially if Delavan can continue this reign in the last 90 seconds. They're starting to run away with this one. Great pass off the back wall, but Cynical comes in. Cynical actually is going to outpace the Halsey. Cynical punishes.
Nice one from Cynical, and as we said in the past two games, from the Eastern Block to now the Central Block, no one's there. You got to have someone there at all times, or else goals like that will happen all the time.
It's just those transition plays. Again, the defense may be aware that they're going to happen, but you can even see it just a little bit too far of a push-up from the second man on Delavan High School, and that's going to be the problem, is that you give up silly goals, and it will come back to bite you. Almost there. I think that they were in more control than maybe we were anticipating from the booth, but goodness me if that wasn't almost an equalizer in the most tragic of ways.
Oh, that was almost an old net. I've done that plenty of times.
I'm very, very excited to see what this series has in store for us. DeCalzi can't stop Cynical. It is tied at 42.
Cynical's showing no mercy. No mercy. That's what he's doing right now. And right now, we got a 5-all tie.
No mercy out in OKC right now. It is Canute High School finding themselves yet another goal just due to overextension from Delavan High School. They've played great defense, but sometimes if the defense just pushes a bit too far out of net, you can see the exposure start to happen. Otherwise, it's been great play, but this is the other concern. Canute love to send both of their players into offense to see if they can have that two-headed Hydra approach. It's worked out, but there's nobody back now for Delavan. This could be a goal if they shoot it on target, but it's a miss from Wheelchair. And now, wait a minute, it goes the other way. Savvy's going to take the ball. They will sacrifice their car's life to get the goal for DeCalzi.
That was, oh my God, I thought Canute had it right there, and nice boom. And Delavan's up 6-5.
I could feel the sweat that was coming down when they realized that the ball was going the other way. And so many swings in such a short period of time. The last 10 seconds. Cynical, bit of boost on the board for them. Will they try and go off the side wall? Look for a pass. He's going to put it off the back wall. That's missed. That's a shot. That's on target. But Delavan will take the win in game one.
Oh, Delavan held it. Delavan's up 1-0, and that was a good game from Delavan. And Canute improved on their defense. They just got to score a lot more goals this time.
That is heartbreaking for Canute at that point. All of that effort to come back. I believe it was 5-3 that they were up at, or that they were down at a certain point. Brings it back to 5-5, but it is one last goal that ends up turning it. Credit where it's due. Savvy with, I would argue, the most heads-up play of the game. Doesn't go for the ball, doesn't go for an extension, just immediately gets in the way of the defense for Canute, and immediately finds themselves a fantastic play.
Yeah, and before we get into things, just want to give a shout out to the student stories that of Play Unified. Students are the foundation of Special Olympics Unified Champion schools like Niobe and Christian. You can be a voice for inclusion at school. You can be a part of the unified generation. We got a package just to show you those stories.
I am Niobe, I am 17 years old, and I am a lovable, true artist.
Follow your dreams. Don't listen to them. If they say something bad, then just ignore them. Prove them wrong.
You're back yet again. That was game number 1 there in a, I'm going to call it a heartbreaking loss for Canute there. Billy, I don't know if you disagree, but I don't know how, if I'm Canute in those moments, you kind of just got to buckle down the hatches and just be like, all right, forget it, keep it rolling.
Yeah, exactly. Canute had the chance. They had a shot, and, they improved on their defense, but they got to score more goals, and they got to get a little more better on defense than they would have had. They would have had Delavan right there.
100%.
It's a hard way to go, only just because you get so close, and then off of a simple touch, it just goes the complete other way. But if that's what's in store for the rest of this series, I'm incredibly excited. Let's get going with game 2.
Here we go. Can't wait.
So in this case, because you've been in competitions like this, Billy, so I got to refer to you as the hold up. Ooh. I was going to say the expert to get the breakdown of how to respond for Canute. Apparently they know how to respond. What is that shot?
That was a nice shot, right off the face-off. 10 seconds into the game, Canute scored right from midfield, and Canute's up 1-0. They gotta keep doing that. Cynical's got to at least find the open shot all the time.
And Canute, great in these early games, able to find their target. But it's the long haul that Delavan are better at. They're better at the adaptations in that long end of the game. As soon as that time goes down, Calzi and Savvy, fantastic duo, and we continue to see it here. Savvy looking for the second touch off the back wall. Calzi's going to put it up high, look for his teammate, but no one will be there. That will transition across. I don't think this results in anything, though.
Ooh, Delavan, they had no one in net. I mean, now they do at the last moment, but they gotta always have someone at net all the time.
And said nobody prepared for the transition the other way. They're kind of lucky that Wheelchair shot just goes a bit off the mark there. Otherwise, that's the second goal, for Canute High School. They still may find it. Wheelchair does see the opening and recognizes Savvy on 0 boost. They'll also steal that boost in the corner. Now comes a little bit of an extended defensive play here. So DeCalzi will rush quickly. Smart play from David to make sure to keep that one away. And to maybe transition, if not for Cynical. Great last-second save on what could have been an open net.
That was beautiful. Cynical at that last moment deflected the ball right there and worked out in Canute's thing.
Great heads-up play as well. Just good awareness. Can be very difficult in transition to have all the vision of where different players are at, but also where the ball is going to. Calzi looks for the back wall. Not the best touch from Cynical. It's going to be Savvy. It's going to be Savvy putting the shot on. Beautifully done and great finish.
Nice shot from Salvi. I can't even do that. I mean, he did it right off the front bumper of his car backwards. Nice shot.
This is what we were hoping for. The back and forth between the two teams, just consistent between both of them when it comes to offense, defense, and in between. Oh. I think these are some of my favorite types of games, but this is a good example of what I was talking about. Punish on the mistakes. David not making a mistake there, doing a great job of just staying steadfast on defense and prepared. For both of the sides, if you were just a little overextended, if the defense isn't prepared, they've done a great job at punishing on those little errors.
Yeah, no, they've done a tremendous job right there and right there, you gotta have someone in net all the time. In transitions, that's what Canute's gotta do, is more transitions right there.
I like the approach from DeCalzi. I think they missed that second jump for the fast aerial, but still in their hands. Driver see, though, Cynical just needs to put it on target. Savvy's rushing back. You can see Wheelchair trying to demo them out of the equation. Nothing comes from it. Great pass. Still dangerous. Wheelchair looking to back into it. Can't get it done. Everyone's scrambling around the goal line, trying to keep it out.
Oh, boy. Calamity on both sides for that play, too. You can see the offense kind of collide against each other, the defense collide against each other, and this is where we talk about punishing on those little moments of weakness, and there haven't been many. Both teams have done a really good job at being able to coordinate around one each other, which has made those moments of exposure so rare and so difficult to capitalize upon. That's another one of them, but Cynical's got his teammates back, and he's going to do a great job and get a great 50 afterwards. Wheelchair can't go up for this one, though, with no boost in the tank, so they'll pop it back to Cynical and just keep it in a safe area.
Yeah, no, they're doing a tremendous job on offense and defense right now. They have to make sure they keep it that way and score more goals on Delavan's goalie.
Chance here, though. 2v1 the other way. DeCalzi gonna pop this one out. Center in the miss from Canute will come back to bite them. Great play as DeCalzi recognizes the opportunity off the backboard.
That was a nice shot, and that was so small of a chance. The ball could have gone in front of the net, and it just happened to go right in. And Delavan's up 2-1 right now.
It's not just a miss, though, but DeCalzi sticking with it as well. Shot on, no boost on the Canute side. That's a 3-1 scoreline.
That was a quick goal, and once again, no one's in net, and Delavan's up 3-1 now.
This is starting to turn into a bit of a flip of the script. We talked about Canute doing a good job off of the kickoffs to immediately put the pressure on. Now all of a sudden it's Delavan who are starting to find themselves opportunities off of kickoff, and not a lot of time for a response. Canute under 100 seconds to go here to try and find something, and that dive in will not help them. More seconds off the clock as Wheelchair has to race back.
Yeah, no, gotta get someone quicker over there.
Well, I'm getting more and more concerned, though, as time wears on. It's just insane. Delavan is sticking to the script of we're going to show up in the late game and just continue to play our game. Punish when we need to. Savvy puts this one high and wide. Cynical tries to get the angle. That's going to be a miss from Savvy. Can't put it on. With a great defensive touch from DeCalzi, will keep it in play. Savvy tries to get the touch in transition. That's actually so dangerous, too, but a great defensive play from Cynical.
Nice defensive play from Cynical right there. Bounced the ball and made sure the ball didn't go in his own net.
The 50s out of midfield will open a little bit of extra space. Maybe Delavan can even add more. No, shot does go a bit off the mark into the corner, and Cynical left by his lonesome. Doesn't seem all too perturbed by it, unless the back pass comes out to Colsey with the most heads-up play I think I've seen so far, and it might give them another goal, but even if it does not, it is wasting more time. Under 30 to play, and still a 2-goal lead here for Delavan.
Canute's got to come out in this next game at least and play more defense.
Yeah, I don't think Canute are playing for this game at the moment. They're just trying to recover and figure out what they can do going into the next game. Everything is sort of slipping away. Delavan, again, we see Canute coming out with an early goal, no problem. Cynical putting one on, maybe an individual effort, trying to pull out that turns Cynical into Sypical, but Delavan will go ahead and take game 2 to take a 2-game lead in this best 7. Canute just having a hard time finding themselves in the latter half of games.
Canute's got to find an equal right now and then. I mean, their defense they worked on pretty good. It's just the offense isn't there.
It just kind of feels like there's a little something missing. I think the big thing that we've seen when it comes to their offense kind of missing that spark is that in order to get that spark, they're sending the whole team. And as you've talked about a lot here, Billy, is that when you full send with both your players, you're leaving yourself exposed for a counterattack. And I feel like they've been bitten by that counterattack far too many times.
Yeah, it happened to them last year too when I announced their the game last year. They got to work on that. And they did a little bit of a better job. I'll give them credit, but they got to do a much better job in this next game.
Got to limit those opportunities here, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to do so far. But the good thing is they've got a couple of minutes here in between games for them to digest what just happened and maybe make some adjustments. And in the meantime, we want to give a shout out to Unified Esports Arizona, coming together shoulder to shoulder, providing competition on the same level. That is what Special Olympics North America is all about. Unified Esports provides Special Olympics unified champion schools across the country with an additional opportunity to develop sportsmanship, build team bonds, and create a community for athletes and partners to connect. A shout out to Unified Esports Arizona, who we have a message from.
Special Olympics North America reached out and asked if we wanted to try this pilot program, our pilot eSport play versus with some of our high school programs. And right away I wanted to jump into it. It's just a great opportunity for the schools, the teams, to see like them come together and play sports shoulder to shoulder was awesome.
I have made new friends, meet new people. It's been an interesting ride so far. We just went from being online to a classroom to a different classroom and somewhere different. It's a good way for everyone to meet each other, good way for people to know more, get to learn about each other in a good way of people just getting along.
Welcome back again, and we want to once again give a massive shout out to Unified here. If you guys want to learn some more about what Special Olympics and Unified are doing, go to playversus.com/SO-Unified here. So again, a massive shout out to all of the people that are helping here today, whether it's the schools, Unified, Play Versus, Special Olympics, or somewhere in between. And shout out to our competitors that are still going through this gauntlet here. We've got our athletes and our partners still going back and forth, and I mean, Billy, we talked about it. This is not out of hand yet for Canute. They are 2 games down, but with some adjustments made, they can definitely extend the series.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. They got to play more defense. They play more defense, and they got to not be afraid of shooting at net and shooting on the goal and everything like that. And it seems like the past 2 games, they were afraid of shooting on net.
It continues to get more and more difficult as the series goes on here for Canute. Delavan are just continuously finding their mark, being able to poke and prod away at the defensive rotations that Canute's offering. And although you see some individual efforts from the likes of Canute with Cynical being on the board, you just have Savvy and DeCalzi continuously punishing. That being said, you can't overcommit too hard like they did just there, because eventually you might just find yourself behind.
Yeah, I mean, right there, you can't have 2 people trying to do the same thing. You need to at least have someone in the front and someone in the back. And right now, you know, they're converging too much.
A chance here for Canute to just keep some long possession and start to whittle away at the boost that Delavan has been able to hold on to. I do like the fact that I think Delavan is starting to recognize those opportunities and doing a good job of going back and forth and just quickly retreating in the moments where they see exposure. I think it's made a huge difference for them being prepared on both sides of the ball and maybe getting goals like this. Okay, Savvy, I see you. Ceiling reset. Not quite able to fulfill the obligation, but definitely an impressive attempt, and I think one that, Seb, you and I have talked about. What is going on in Diamond's lobbies, man?
What is actually going on in Diamond right now? What? There's no way. I've never...
You guys are so much better than me. It's insane.
I've never done that in my life, or attempted to even. Savvy can't get the save. Cynical with a dime.
Right now, Delavan thought they had a shot, and Cynical, the last moment, got in, bounced off of Savvy's back bumper right there, and Canute's up 1-0. They got to continue on with this attack, or they'll lose. They got to just keep on scoring.
That is a rocket shot, though. A heck of a way to reinstill some confidence in your team if you are down in a series like this. Canute, again, they've kept it close, but the big thing we've talked about a lot is that it is only goal number 1 for them. The first half of these games have definitely been their strongest moments, and I feel like that could have been a strong moment for a transition, but instead, Delavan to hold on to the offense.
Oh my God, that was a good one. I thought right there we'd have a shot because no one was there, and...
Oh, great save.
That was a nice save right there.
And what an even better challenge, but what an even better bump from DeCalzi, and it's still not able to. The transition came through, but perfect placement from both Delavan and Canute. Cynical looks to stick with it. The way that Delavan was able to diffuse that entire transition was so clean.
Yeah, that was a beautiful transition right there from right there. Oh, nice shot from Savvy.
Savvy just recognizing the speed required here on this moment. Again, it's a good demo from Cynical to try and slow it down, but they see a flat-footed HDM wheelchair, unfortunately, on the line. They didn't have any boost in the tank, so they couldn't do much to get up to the shot, and there's no defense that can be had if it's just above your head. Great equalizer from Delavan, and this is where we get into the crunch time we talked about. It's been great first half for Canute, but as Delavan makes their adjustments, they seem to just be in control, unless you've got Cynical shooting from the heavens. It's 2-1.
Where did he shoot that from? That was a nice shot from Cynical. I can't jump like that. I can barely get the car up like 5 feet in the air. Cynical bounced the ball and jumped like that. Good shot. What a great shot from Cynical. Canute's got to continue with this.
This is where we're starting to see Cynical come into their own as a player. You could tell that they got the individual mechanics to make some stuff work, but it's just about having the space and freedom to do that, which I have no doubt Delavan are going to be keeping their eye on in the upcoming games.
Ooh, that was a nice block right there, but you know, Canute's got to continue on with this attack. If they don't, then Delavan can come back, and I hope Canute can pull it off somehow.
Nicole, pass out center. Shot will find the target. And Wheelchair with a perfect dive is going to find a third goal for their team.
Cynical's like, you know what? I'll give it to you, Wheelchair. Take it from here. And you know, I'll show the love to you. And right now, that was a nice shot from Wheelchair, and they're up 3-1.
We'll see what Delavan can do. They're typically late game adapters in these scenarios, but as Canute just made it too difficult for them to overcome this gap, this gulf ahead of them. 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Delavan trying to stay alive in this one. Another shot from Cynical, the dish.
That was a curveball from Cynical right there. It curved. And how in the world? Nice shot from Cynical. I gotta give him credit. And they're up 4-1.
There's something nostalgic for me about seeing a Doomsy edition 2025. It's been a mechanic in Rocket League for what feels like forever, and it's not an easy one. And even when you see it now, even after so many of those shots, it is still just as impressive. A narrow angle off the backboard and probably a stamp on game number 3. Canute starting to show up like we had hoped for here. Billy, especially you had talked about it. Their offense needed to start showing up. I would say that it has shown up.
Yeah, it has been. They got to continue with this from Canute right here. I mean, it's game 3, but still, they want to win. Oh, nice shot from Delavan right there. DeCalzi scored right there. But Canute's got to continue. It's 1:03 left. Delavan's down 4-2, but Canute's got to hold on. Canute's got to play defense and not be afraid.
This is quite absurd at this point. A game that's just continuously going back and forth. Every single one of these teams showcasing their individual ability. 4-2 though. Still a chasm to overcome for Delavan. We'll see if DeCalzi, how they deal with the pressure. Have Canute done enough to give themselves a chance in this series? That remains to be seen, but Cynical wants to end it. That 50 doesn't hit the mark, and it's still in play against Delavan here. But Canute are doing a great job at just whittling down this clock.
Yeah,
Be careful though.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Thought that was going to be a goal. I'm going to be so real. I 100% thought that was going to be a goal, and we would have what could have been the most heartbreaking end here for Canute, because with 20 seconds to go, it is more and more offense being shown. Great demo there, though. May just change things, as that's an escape off the half, or I thought it'll waste enough time, and that will be our first back and forth of the day. It was a 4-0 sweep in the East. It will not go the same here in Central. Canute High School fire back after 2 losses and bring the series to 2-1.
Nice from Canute. They played more defense. They learned and know how to play more defense, and they did it in this game. And they weren't afraid to play offense and shoot goals. And they got to do it in the next few games, or else they could lose. And they got to continue on with the winnings right now.
This has been really fun back and forth. So, again, I know we've talked a lot about this, but it's just showing the more and more advanced that these teams get, the further they get into these series.
It's really cool to see the adaptations that we're seeing from Canute, right? This is a team that they came out early in the first 2 games, but then they fell apart at the finish line. But now they were able to keep going and just continue with individual skill. Cynical showcasing themselves across the board was a fantastic touch from them. But before we get into things, have some words, of course, from Eunice Kennedy, one of the youth ambassadors here. Who says, never underestimate your potential to change the world. You have earned the right to be yourself, and now it's your job to ensure all your peers are valued and included too. Just like Special Olympics founder Eunice Kennedy Shriver said, you are the stars and the world is watching you. You got a short package for this.
You are the stars and the world is watching you.
By your presence, you send a message to every village,
every city, every nation.
A message of hope.
A message of victory.
The right to play on any playing field, you have earned it.
The right to study in any school, you have earned it. The right to hold a job,
you have earned it.
Welcome back yet again to even more action, and thank you again for that lovely message from Eunice Kennedy Shriver. It was, again, the founder of Special Olympics here, and the message that she has brought it's clearly resonated through many, many years later. It's why we are here with our 4th game in our Unified Special Olympics Championship here for Central. And as we talked about, Canute finally getting the response we were looking for here. Bill, you talked about, this is a revenge tour for these guys. They want to avenge themselves from their performance last year, and goals like this are a great way to do so.
Yeah, last year they were close and they want to show themselves that we're not the same team from last year, and that was a quick goal right there off the face-off. And Canute's up 1-0. That was a nice shot.
Continuing the momentum from the previous, Canute continuing to showcase maybe an adaptation against Delavan. And hopefully for them, we'll be able to tie up this series. It's still a bit of a road to go. And Delavan has that adaptation ability. Savvy's going to put this one on beautifully, but off the post. Still off the post again, even on the save.
Oh my God, it's like football. You got to get the whole ball over the plane, and that was a close one.
That's got to be it, right?
Oh,
okay.
Never mind. Okay.
Savvy just goes, no. You might save the first. You are not saving the second. And good job to Decalzi here to just kind of cause chaos in the corner. Cynical's looking for an easy clear. He's getting bumped from behind without being able to find any force on that ball. Can't get it to midfield, and Delavan find a way to punish. Great way to respond, considering I don't think I would be incorrect in stating that Canute were starting to run away with this thing. That would have been, I think, their 4th goal in a row. Instead, we get an equalizer.
That was a nice one. That was a nice one right there, right off the face-off right there. And Savvy just showed up. Okay, I messed up the first time. I'm going to score again. And he did. So, nice shot from Savvy.
Really excited to see how Delavan are making these adjustments, though. I mean, Canute is relying a bit more on just individual excellence, but you can tell the chemistry that Decalzi and Savvy have together. Cynical doing what they can, right? But the amount of teamwork that's coming into this twos match, just as I say that, Wheelchair is the perfect 50.
Nice shot from Wheelchair off the bounce from Cynical. That was a nice one from Wheelchair. And they're up 2-1. They got to not be afraid.
I think that's... I was going to say, I think that you're 100% on the mark with that. I think that's exactly what the difference is right now, is that Canute are not afraid to send their players, but they're not sending them together. You talked about it, Seb, with the chemistry that we've seen from Delavan as they use both their players, but the difference here is we're seeing for Canute High School right now is that oftentimes it was Cynical at the forefront of the offense, and then you get Wheelchair involved afterwards. Instead, it's the two of them rotating back around each other, and Wheelchair does get those opportunities to dive into offense. Well coordinated, it's well understood. It also might be a bit of a problem, though, on defense. Both of them retreating, not sure whose ball it is to try and take away. Cynical will try to clear this off the backboard, but it's even more offense now for Delavan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They got to continue on with this. And Canute's up 2-1, but they got to not be afraid.
Not being afraid is a key part here, especially when it comes down to some of these 50s that are coming through. Wheelchair sends it to the net. Bit of lack of boost on the side of Delavan. Needs to be taken care of. Savvy going to try and just go for the shot themselves. Cynical going off the back wall. Great back wall defense too. That's a 50. No! Will slip on through.
They didn't have anyone there. They had someone there at the last minute. But you got to time your boost correctly. That's the main thing. And Decalzi scored right there. And right now, tie game. I love this.
You called it perfectly. Again, you can just see it. Wheelchair's trying to rotate out to the corner. They think they've got enough time to go and pick up that big boost pad, but in doing so, they leave the net open. They try and retreat back in time, but without that boost, they just aren't there in time, and it's a 2-2 game just about at halfway through it. Newt, though, looking for maybe a way to break this difference. Not quite able to do so, and a 50 out of midfield will still stay on the Delavan high, but kind of float there for a second, and the shot will go a bit wide. I like that from Cynical. He's up early to try and see if he can get the quick rebound. It does not turn into a goal, but it is still more possession here for Canute.
He's trying to score early. He's trying to score often, and trying to set up his player. When his player's not available, he's trying to do it all on his own. And right there, that was a nice shot right off the rebound, and Delavan's up 3-2.
Great punish as well. Just pure speed and good awareness from Decalzi to realize how quickly Savvy was going to put that pass in and being immediately ready for it. Canute just didn't have as much awareness as to where that pass is going to be. Also where Decalzi was in terms of positioning as well. This is still dangerous. Cynical tries to solo, but can't get it done. Decalzi looking for that pass, receiving again. Actually just going to go up for it. Tries to go for the light touch, but can't get it done.
Yeah, no one was there on defense. You gotta have someone there on defense all the time.
Great save again! Wow!
What was that from Cynical? They tried to throw it off their own backboard, leave the shot, and they still call the bluff. They go, yeah, I know you'll get the rebound, but I've got the save.
That was a nice save. I gotta give them credit. Nice save.
Really happy with this, how this is going though for Delavan. What a shift from the previous game. Again, just using that team play to their advantage. Both roughly even in skill. Of course, both of them having grinded throughout the course of the summer to get to this point.
Yeah, they gotta, Canute's gotta keep on with this and not be afraid right now.
Oh!
There's no one right there, and Canute just show them. I'll score and we tie it.
That's a bit confusing. I think it's, Savvy not expecting for DeCalzi to go for the dive. DeCalzi tries to break up the play out at midfield, and Savvy, who's already committed due to taking that boost in the back line and charging mid, is hoping that he can at least get a touch. Neither of the players for Delavan are able to make any contact. What was a 3-2 lead, not only erased, but could be doubled, as Canute looked for the chance off a kickoff, but cannot find it.
Yeah, that was the thing, is they converge at the same time. You can't have two people converge at the same time, because accidents and mistakes happen just like that.
Taking a lot of liberties with the space here on the defensive end for Delavan. Remember, you don't want to rest on your laurels, especially against a team that's finally found its form. Savvy will get a great save. Pass over to DeCalzi. This is still looking dangerous, especially with 30 seconds left. This really is anyone's game.
It's anyone's game right now, and I love for this to go in overtime. I love sudden death overtimes.
I'm hoping for an OT here, but I think for both teams, they'd like to try to clear it out in regulation. Maybe Delavan on the counterattack can find that, or maybe Canute! Thought for a second. The shot goes a bit wide, and now one more chance here for Delavan. A Savvy, not a lot of boost in the tank, but at least a chance to get to maybe the sidewall and keep this up. Kind of. This goes longer than anticipated, and back out center. The shot denied. Almost a chance to end it in regulation, but instead, we have overtime.
We have overtime. I hope this goes very long. I love it.
Long overtimes are always fun. And then it goes for 10 minutes. You're like, DeCalzi looking for the second shot, trying to get the touch off. Savvy's ready for it. Puts it just a touch too short. Cynical will collect, trying to get the flick over in transition. Doesn't get the flick that they want, and still plays around, though. Can't get the follow-up bump, and it's so dangerous still.
That was a dangerous right there.
Chance here on the transition. 30 seconds into OT. Both teams have had their opportunities, and here comes another Cynical shutdown. And is it me, or is the pace of play up like 20-fold within like 10 seconds?
No, it's not. It's the pace of play. They're doing very good right now.
I'm still so apprehensive, because it really does feel like any single mistake could lead to the end here. Wheelchair, do they have the boost? Do they have the angle to make this work? They're going to put it off of the corner. Cynical ready. Great defensive play and good awareness from Delavan.
That was a nice defense.
Oh, the boomer, though, just a bit off the mark. I was ready for the shot. I don't think the defense was. Canute getting away with a little bit of highway robbery there. Had that shot been a little bit lower, that would have been the end of OT.
That net was 5 times wider. It would have gone in.
Oh, this has got to go in.
That's the case. I believe that will find its mark. Delavan take the 3-1 lead in the series.
That nice shot from DeCalzi right there. He scored from the middle of the parking lot, and they're up 3-1.
That's it's kind of what we were warning about as well for Canute High School, is that they've got a lot of plays where I feel like they maybe get a bit over eager with so much pressure. With a total of 7 shots, they go, surely we can put all of our chips on the table. We can push ourselves into offense, and unfortunately in doing so, if you don't get one of those touches at the precise time, it will come back to bite you. I mean, we've seen similar for Delavan as well. They have overextended. It's just unfortunate it happens in an overtime so important, because now Canute, they need to not reverse sweep, but gentlemen's reverse. They need 3 in a row. Otherwise, that's the end of the series.
Yeah, no, they got to. They have no choice. Canute's got to come out fighting and not be afraid in order for them to win this whole thing.
There's a chance, but there's a chance in the next game. So we'll take a quick second here to just talk a little bit more about Unified Esports New York. Play Versus provides the resources and handle the logistics of the match so you can focus on the students. Together, we will power up esports. Again, a massive shout out to Unified Esports New York, who we've got a message from.
Special Olympics Unified Sports gives an opportunity for students both with and without intellectual disabilities to play on the same teams and to compete as teammates, as equals. What we've noticed through esports is that we've seen a tremendous boost in attendance, academic achievement, even just social interactions amongst our students. They know that they need to come to school to be able to participate on the esports team. So that's been a big motivator for them to do well in school, show up every day. And even just the friendships that are made on the team, it's just like any other team. We have teammates that are playing their teams together. It would be great to get more schools here in New York City involved with unified esports.
What makes esports unique in our school, students get to show and practice the skills that they are learning, skills like leadership skills, teamwork, problem solving, multitasking, and they can take these skills into the classroom and outside world when they can practice it every day to enrich their lives.
Unified Champion Schools provide schools pre-K through university with intentional opportunities to show inclusion within the schools.
And a massive shout out to Unified Esports New York for all that they are doing. And if you guys want to learn more about how Special Olympics North America and Playversus are working together to accomplish this for Special Olympics Unified Champion Schools, you can go to playversus.com/SO-unified to get some more information. Again, those are the people that are making everything today possible, giving us the opportunity to stream these games. And Billy, we talked about it. We're starting to see the adjustments from Canute, but unfortunately, when the going gets tough, Delavan has stepped up every time. They're on the verge of this Central Championship. Canute need to batten down the hatches here for what could be the final game.
Yeah, Canute's got to battle down right now. They got to score and not be afraid. They got to score early and they got to score more often.
I think it's starting to show that team play is becoming a really big factor for Delavan to win their own games, and if Canute can start to implement that a bit more. Yes, I understand Cynical, phenomenal player, but you need to get your teammates involved in one way or the other, or else you're going to see Delavan walking away with this one. Cynical tries to force it through, but can't get it done.
Yeah, that was a close one right there. Nice passing.
Chance here, maybe to get some transitions started for Delavan High School. They've been doing a great job at causing chaos as they pull themselves down the pitch. A chance there as well as the chaos does ensue, but the shot doesn't find its way on target. The physicality causing some problems, but Canute standing tall so far.
That was a nice one from Canute right there.
Oh, gotta be careful of this one though.
Ooh, that was a close.
Especially another player just might be up. Wheelchair tries to go up. Cynical sticks with it and still see Delavan fighting for every possession. Just really focusing on in this transition game, playing strong defense and then waiting to see how Canute responds in transition.
Yeah, they gotta do that. More transitions right now, and Canute's got to show right now and not be afraid. And right now, they're playing very aggressively.
Inch. Going to find its way all the way downfield, but it won't do anything to turn into a shot. Both teams, I think, playing a little bit more passively. We talked about the upping a pace in the overtime of the last game, but this one, I don't think anybody wants to overexpose their hand. They want to play this one a bit more carefully, just in case. Great example, as Wheelchair's touch goes a little bit more heavily back, so it's Cynical to the rescue to make sure it doesn't get into dangerous territory. Speaking of which, 1v1, and Savvy outdone by Cynical.
No one
This is where you have to be careful about these retreats and shadowing properly, especially in these 1v1s. Have no doubt Cynical's probably played a bunch.
That was a nice shot from Cynical right there in the last moment. I thought he was going to hit it out, and nope. And Canute's up 1-0.
Ballsy, take this one carefully through the corner. Again, it's been Delavan who have found the responses in every game, but felt like this first goal in game number 5 was a bit more harder earned from both sides. They recognize that as much as it's been a barrage of goals through the past couple of games, they're few and far between in moments like this where nobody wants to be the first to make an error. They're playing carefully as both teams do a good job just keeping this out of harm's way in the corner. But Savvy, the drop down to Calsey's there. It's an awkward angle, and as both players play for the 50, neither able to get a touch.
Yeah, neither were right there, and then Canute's got to pour on the pressure right there.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's where the over-aggressiveness can really hurt, and why you simply have to be more conscious of your offensive touches. I understand that was a pass, but it went way overboard.
Way overboard. And Canute, right there and then, no one was in the net, and Canute's up 2-0.
Good chance for them to extend the series with this game. 2-0 is a pretty significant lead. The only problem is we have seen Delavan respond in kind quickly, and they will do it again. The Calzi and Savvy link up for their first goal.
Nice
Again,
shot. Nice shot.
the team play comes through. You see it time and time again from Delavan. The two teammates working out. Again, the summer grind is continuously showcasing it. And the kickoff goal to boot.
Okay, off the face-off. Nice shot from Delavan. Nice shot from Savvy right there. No one was in the net.
Just straight dusting them. Just a bit quicker to the kickoff, and that's unfortunate for Canute, who I just don't think we're anticipating the speed flip kickoff to come out. It does work out. They're not going to implement it again. Probably trying to play a couple of different kickoff strategies. Nicolzi pops this up for Savvy. Savvy knew it was coming his way and was prepared for it. And Nicolzi prepared for the rebound. Off the backboard. Savvy still there. Shot off target. And a chance for the lead squandered. And now Cynical on the transition.
Ooh, nice transition right there. But got blocked right there from Savvy.
Now you got to be, especially when it comes to DeCalzi, right? You saw that the moment that Savvy didn't have the best shot, they were already back on the rotate. Is this one going to get ahead of them? It's going to hit the post and roll up. 90 seconds here. Savvy tries to put one on. DeCalzi in position for the cleanup.
Oh, there was no one there, and it got there at the last moment. You got to have someone there at all times.
Oh, the jump up high, you can see it. Canute just trying to figure out a place to put a wheel in the way. They know they need to interfere with that play, as the Delavan duo have been so deadly in so many moments. Just the connection of passes has been a problem, but so have the kickoffs. If not for Savvy, a beautiful save, and the transition, if that's on target, it's 4-2. Instead, it'll roll up the backboard, but Delavan, how are you even in the lead still?
Oh my God, that would have been an own net shot. Oh, that was, wow.
With how close Delavan has been getting and continues to get, the last minute, it could be all theirs. Again, this is knocked way downfield. DeCalzi has to be careful. You don't want to give this transition over. You don't want an own goal going either, especially as Savvy has to have flip to get this one back.
Yeah, that was a close one right there. Canute's got to pour on the pressure right now. 40 seconds left.
Getting close, but the problem is close ain't enough with only 40 seconds to go, especially if you concede a fourth. Calzi shot a little bit high. Cynical, though, no boost, can't clear it quickly. Calzi can cause more problems. David's been trying this entire way through, and Savvy's done a great job of giving him that space to be the interference on offense. Even on defense here, he's prepared as well. This duo has done a good job of staying calm under pressure, and with 15 to go, all they need to do is hold on. That might be easier said than done. Wheelchair with a chance, and Savvy to take it away.
Nice shot.
Still so dangerous, though. Cynical puts one on. DeCalzi misflips. At 4 seconds, Cynical ties the game.
That was a wow. I mean, Delavan tried getting back at the last moment, and Canute. Oh my God. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Delavan saw the championship in sight. Now they're going to have to get it done in overtime. Look, I know none of the three of us are going to complain about another overtime, but if you are Delavan, you have to imagine the nerves are at an all-time high.
Yeah, their nerves right now at an all-time high, and Canute's got to put the pressure on now. They got to score in order to keep on with this tournament. And right there, Canute, nice shot from Cynical. And right now, they won, and they're going to Game 6. I love it. I love it.
So well fought from Canute. They continue to show up just when they need to. Even when on the brink, Canute managed to stay alive.
How many moments during that game did we say that? As Delavan again pouring out 10 shots, but cannot turn those into as many goals. Unfortunate here, and I gotta say, it's heartbreaking if you were Delavan, considering the circumstances. They had those opportunities, they just could not convert.
No, that was the issue. Delavan, they scored, but their defense was kind of lagging towards the very end.
Yeah, and so with that, I mean, Canute, they're edging that much closer to that pivotal Game 7 that we have. But before we get into that, let's talk a bit about inclusive youth leadership. With Special Olympics Unified Champion Schools, you're never too young to make an impact. The students of the Unified Generation work together to spread inclusion in their schools and communities across the country through inclusive youth leadership. Got something just for that.
Back again to the Play versus High School Championship, as well as the Special Olympics and Unified Schools, or excuse me, Champion Schools. This has been a awesome back and forth, and I want to give a shout out specifically for what we're talking about here with inclusive youth leadership. You're never too young to make an impact, and we are seeing that here today. Gentlemen, we've got a 7th grader competing here in this championship for Central. I don't know about the two of you guys. I don't think I even knew how to, well, okay, I probably knew how to play video games in 7th grade. I don't think I was this good, though. These guys are stunting more than I ever could, and it has resulted in Canute getting themselves now to game number 6. Billy, we thought this could be a quick series. Apparently, it's anything but, as yet another save to start the game.
That was
this one
right there. Wow.
So might actually be punished as well, especially in transition. You see Wheelchair putting the shot on, and he does.
Nice shot from Wheelchair. He got there quick on offense. Canute's got to put the pressure on Delavan right here in order to force a game 7. And Canute got to keep doing it.
Feels like the momentum's fully in favor of Canute right now. Delavan have had their moments to kind of fire back, you know, a right hook here, a jab there, but the knockout blows have been Canute almost every single time. However, chance here with the back pass, but I don't think that DeCalzi was prepared for that. David anticipating that Savvy would either take the shot or pass it maybe a little bit more lightly. Instead, the rocket right towards him gives no attempt, and with 30 seconds gone, it is still a lead for Canute.
Yeah, it's still a lead for Canute. They got to hold on to this, though. They got to play defense, and they got to score and get Delavan off balance.
To be careful at this point for the transitions from Delavan, though, if you're Canute. It's the second time they've double committed on that end. Cynical trying to get the flick high. Is going to go for the aerial bump. Doesn't need it. Just goes in regardless.
Nice shot from Cynical. Nice dribbling and nice shot from Cynical, and they're up 2-0.
Brilliant play again to recognize that. I think Delavan's starting to get a little eager. They're diving in on some plays that I don't think they were diving in on earlier in this series, and as a result, things are starting to get a little bit shaky, and they will get only shakier. Right off kickoff, it's 3-0.
Right there. Canute right off the face-off. That was a nice shot from Wheelchair, and he was close. Delavan was close, but Canute's up 3-0 now.
This is getting a bit worrying if you're Delavan. This is a 3-0 scoreline, and you've used up a lot of your chances. You don't want this to go to a Game 7 because that is a different kind of pressure. Savvy trying to get the pass off, goes for bumps, and I think that might be a good solution for Delavan if they care to use it. It's just going for more of a bump-heavy style. In twos, it's a bit harder to make work, but if you're able to get shots on like this, it might be a start.
Savvy showing that there was no one there on defense in the net. Cynical was playing too much forward, and there was no one in net, and Delavan's down 3-1.
This is starting to get spicy here, as it does feel like Delavan do still have some life left in them. They have proven that at multiple moments, but it's Canute who have just given themselves such a large lead early. The 3 goals that we have here all came within the first minute, and they can find another one here that's even more dangerous, but DeCalzi gonna stay calm under pressure. Outdoes 2 and gets the transition by themselves.
Nice transition, no one in net. No one was in net. And Canute's still up by 1, but Delavan's got to pour it on if they want to win this one.
Yeah, we knew that this was going to be a bit of an issue if Canute overcommit too hard. Delavan has that ability to punish very hard. They're focusing on a very passive playstyle, while Canute has been able to break that down. You can't forget how much they're working in these transitions. That is a nice attempt. Decalzi's just going to keep staying with it. That one's going to go straight down the field. At this point, again, Canute need to be on their toes.
Yeah, Canute got to stay on their toes right here. They got to put the pressure on if they want to go to a Game 7.
Like the way that they're rotating around each other right now, though. Delavan doing a good job. I think they've kind of switched up their roles here, as it does more feel like Savvy's starting to take a defensive role, while David's been more in the offense here. Again, we talked about that thorn in the side mentality, just trying to interfere with your opponents. I think Decalzi's done a really good job at that, and Savvy picking up the pieces as well there. Really good play midfield to just not give a clean transition. Now a boomer the other way. Cynical has to be careful with this, and he will. Up to the sidewall, and Decalzi will go for the challenge and completely take them by surprise. The shot on target, but not in quite yet.
Now, that was a close one right there. I thought it was be a shot, and we did. Nice shot from Wheelchair. Nice bounce pass. And they're up 4-2.
I see the shadowing here from Savvy to try and just get a good touch, but you got to be a bit quicker with your cut. It's a very simple kind of rotational error that can happen to even the best of them, and in this case it does. Still, half a game remaining. We saw how quickly Delavan could just rack up 2 if they're able to punish. This could be a good effort. Savvy looking to keep it high. Gonna try and get the second touch. Does in fact do it. Savvy, who doesn't want that Game 7.
Savvy put the pressure on right there and then. He wants to score, and he scored right there. And Canute, they had an insurance run up by 2, and now they're up by only 1 now.
Only 1, and with 2 minutes to go, a reminder to everybody at home, they scored 3 of their 4 goals within the very first minute. So outside of that first minute, it is technically 3-1 in favor of Delavan, meaning that their momentum is building in an undeniable way, especially if they can score another here. Awkward for Wheelchair, but they do a great job to get to the corner and clear the lines. Maybe a bit too heavy of a touch, so it gets away from them, but a perfect 50 will keep it in front of the net, and the shot will go off the bar. Decalzi can't get it away, and Wheelchair with their 4th goal of the game.
Cynical, nice bounce pass off right there in the front of the net, and Wheelchair had a shot. Savvy wasn't there at the right time, and Canute's up 5-3.
I completely understand the panic from Decalzi when it's that close to you, you're backwards, you don't know which way to go. From there, all it takes is just a single touch that can go wrong. Wheelchair puts it up high, double commit from the defensive side. Cynical, decent amount of boost, gonna try and go for the solo, goes for the flip reset in fact. Can't get much with it. 90 seconds remaining. Delavan, they want to put an end to this series. They're gonna need 3 goals. And this might be the start. Decalzi gets within reach.
Nice shot from Decalzi right there. He was able to bounce off his own rebound, and Decalzi scored, and right now it's a close game.
Smart plays from Decalzi there as well. It's a great idea to recognize, Wheelchair is playing the full defensive posture. Just fully planted in net, park the bus, do not move if you do not have to. Problem is, though, if you put it off the backboard like this, it can cause some problems, and that's what Decalzi's doing, baiting out the defense, trying to pull them out of net to keep them exposed. Speaking of which, another shot, that one off target. Well, you can see Delavan, they want to take us to at least OT. They are surging.
They're surging right there and then. They're trying to score so they don't have to take it to a Game 7, but Canute right now is pouring the pressure on.
Now, with only so much time remaining, Cynical, no boost, gets the flick over 1. Decalzi needs to be there as Cynical puts the shot on. Still a chance here for Delavan to end it all. Savvy is going to put it downfield. Is it within reach? No, but it's still dangerous as that goes off the corner. It's going to be going to the far end post. Only a few seconds remaining. Decalzi keeps it dangerous. Savvy tries to force it through. There's only so much time left for both these teams.
That was a nice shot from the tower.
Oh,
no! Out was! Oh, that should have gone in. Canute's pouring the pressure right now.
How is that not a goal? It might be enough for Delavan, though, because they do have the transition. This one will roll up the wall, meaning there's still technically a play left. It's an awkward one at that, and I don't think Delavan will get to it. Canute, from down 3-1 in the series, have forced a Game 7.
I love it. I love this. Canute, they want to show they're much better from last year, and they scored more often. They played defense much better, and they scored much better.
That was a phenomenal comeback from Canute. Seriously, all the way through. They're playing to their strengths, and now they force a Game 7.
I'm blown away. I'm actually blown away. It felt like Canute, the big thing we had as a criticism for them was just a lack of coordination. The two players would both try to commit into offense and defense together, and oftentimes it would leave them exposed. Now they have found a good rotation. Both players are getting involved in offense. Both players are getting involved in defense, and that two-man passing play has worked out tremendously for them through multiple games here.
Yeah, tremendous. They're doing a tremendous play right now.
Extremely impressive, and it's going to give us another second here to talk a little bit more about some of the partners here for this broadcast, including Service High School. You're never far from the unified generation, even in Alaska. Let's visit Service High School in Anchorage, where inclusion is the norm and students with and without intellectual disabilities are valued and accepted. We've got a message there from Service.
Good morning and good day, Service High.
Service High is the Special Olympics Unified Champion School. I hear all the time students who either go to another school then come back or transfer from another school. They just say something is different here.
When you walk into the special education class and to see 60, 70 people in there and everyone smiling and hanging out and eat lunch together, I mean, like what a neat thing. Inclusion at its purest form.
It boils down to students who are just aware of others, and they notice when someone is alone.
I am Niobe, and I am a lovable, true artist.
You are.
Every parent longs for their babies to fit in. And at this school, everyone is accepted.
And a massive shout out to Robert Service High School out in Anchorage there for their support and belief in Unified and their message here. Again, a massive shout out to them as well as all the other schools that have been working with Unified and Special Olympics throughout the day that we've mentioned, including our two schools left in this championship. Gentlemen, we have found ourselves here with a Game 7. I'm still kind of in disbelief we've even gotten here, to be quite frank.
Game 7, I love it. Game 7s are the best. Can't wait for this one.
Yeah, I think this is a clear example of Canute, who have really worked their way up and have continued to make adaptations necessary to deal with Delavan and their, basically unbeatable team play throughout the course of that first half of the series. And Cynical is largely, in fact, the responsible party for this one, soloing this one to get Canute on the board.
Nice shot. Cynical, he got his own rebound. No one was in net, and Canute's right now up 1-0.
That was a little dirty. Man comes through. Not only does he get some demos and some physicality, he pops it off the backboard, says, I got my own rebound. Says, I got you, Canute. I will take us to the promised land. I will get us that win. Delavan, a long game ahead of them. I do not think they are going to take this one sitting down. And so far, they are not, but that's a bit of an error and a transition the other way. Cynical just rushing to get this downfield, but goodness me, Delavan have to be careful. Too many misses, and it could cost them a second goal.
That was a close one right there. There was no one in net.
This is one where I'm looking at how Delavan are playing. They're kind of worried. You can see it, whereas Canute, they're playing confident, they're playing to their strengths. Delavan have been forced on the back foot for a long time, and in all fairness, this is a long series. A full best-of-7 is no slouch when it comes to time and just the amount of mental you need to put into a single game. Savvy tries to get the defensive touch, but so far, it's all been in Canute's hands.
Yeah, Canute's showing it right now. I mean, they were down, and they're showing we're not going to give up, and they're proving it.
Of that never say die attitude, the ability to stay in a series like this just through pure determination is what we are seeing right now from Canute. I mean, you talked about this, Billy. These are the runner-ups from last year. These guys were not satisfied with second place. They have come for that trophy, and so far they're showing they truly do deserve it.
They are showing Eye of the Tiger, like from Rocky. They're showing Eye of the Tiger, and they're pouring it on right now.
What a way to do this. Again, solo off of Cynical. Just doing what they need to do. Canute with a 2-0 lead in Game 7.
Nice shot from Canute. Canute right there.
3:20 to go here, so there's a long game ahead, and as we've talked about, Delavan definitely the stronger in back half of these games, but I also feel like that's a narrative we really were only able to talk about through the first couple of games in this series. As time has gone on, it has no longer been Canute falling apart at the end of these games. It is piling the pressure early and keeping it there to the very bitter end. 3-0 to Canute.
That was brutal. I thought Savvy at least knocked the ball out of the net. That was brutal, and Canute is pouring it on them. And I think Delavan right now is just being very laggish right now in how they play defense.
I'm a little bit worried now for Delavan because, okay, they're trying to get the bumps in, and in fact, that one actually works out, but it's just a bit too slow. Wheelchair able to get the save in time. Savvy can't make the defensive touch. That's another one for Canute.
Ooh. No one was there on defense. You gotta have someone there at defense, and right now Canute is pouring it on him, and Delavan is very sluggish right now when it comes to defense and playing offense. They're too much afraid now.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit over-eager, and this is the concern that I think, Seb, you and I have seen this many a times through every single level of Rocket League, which is that teams get that pressure in Game 7. Sometimes it makes diamonds, sometimes it just makes you a little over-eager, and I think that's what we're seeing from Delavan. They are so determined to get back into this game that they're kind of forgetting about their original rotations that got them here in the first place.
Now, when you look at just what Delavan were able to do in earlier games compared to this one, and just exactly how they were playing, the adaptations, the team play, the good defensive play, it seems to have all kind of fallen by the wayside. Looks like they're trying to transition over to, I think Takalzi is AFK. Might need to get an admin to step in for this one. This one will be, bouncing off the post. And at the moment, it seems as though Canute doesn't really see any difference. Cynical will get credited for it, but it will be a 5-0.
5-0 right now from Canute. They're pouring the pressure on him.
Yeah, this would be the greatest comeback we see all day by a large margin. Canute just kind of running away with this at this point. It is a 5-0 with only 2 minutes to go, and you got to wonder how Delavan come back here, as it looks like we might have a bit of a DC, as I think we are not seeing anybody go for the kickoff at this moment.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, we'll kind of update you on what's going on, but for the meantime, so it seems as though we'll figure out what's going on, but for the time being, yeah, a 5-0 scoreline at the moment. Canute has done a fantastic job bringing this all the way back, a gentleman's reverse sweep thus far. Obviously, again, game still not kind of finished yet as far as we know, but we'll keep you updated.
All right, we're looking like we're getting information here, as I believe the match is officially ending because of that. Congratulations to Canute Canute School, excuse me. They have found themselves the win here. The championship for Central is theirs. A massive congratulations for being the Special Olympics Unified champions for Central. This was a incredible match, and again, Billy, you were rooting for these guys. You wanted to see them outdo their performance from last year. I think we can confidently say they did.
Yeah, no, Canute wanted to prove themselves. Last year they were runners-up, and this year they wanted to win. And congratulations to Canute for doing the practices and showing up and scoring more goals.
Yeah, when it comes to how Canute played, I mean, the mental resilience they had throughout the course of this was something to behold. I mean, if you're in a 3-1 scenario, it's so hard to get 2 games in a row, because when you look at how those games played, it was Canute that came out early, but then every single time Delavan just came back time after time until when Canute decided to lock in, and especially when Cynical decided to be a monster of a solo player pass.
I'm just going to state it. I know we want to talk a lot about Cynical there, but I have to also give some massive shout-outs to HDM Wheelchair there as well for their performance, especially in Game 6. In my opinion, Wheelchair was the difference in Game 6. Game 6 was him just no fear, diving into offense, constantly keeping the pressure on, and really not allowing that comfortability that Delavan had early in the series to ever come back. And I think, Billy, we've spoken about that a lot. It's just Delavan started off confident, but as the confidence whittled away, it was really Canute who took advantage of maybe the overconfidence they took to try and compensate for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Canute wanted to pour the pressure, and they didn't. And Delavan was being very sluggish when it comes to defense and offense.
Great series regardless, though, and we appreciate all of you at home for participating. I appreciate the both of you for hopping in the booth with me. Thank you, Seb. Thank you, Billy, for everything here today. Gentlemen, I'll go to you first, Seb. Any final thoughts before we close this out?
I just think that, this is such a fantastic initiative that I think everyone should support. A huge shout out to Play Unified through the course of this for being able to give opportunities to so many different kinds of people, and I'm very happy to have been a part of it.
Billy, any final words here from you, my friend?
Yeah, no, same here. I agree with Seb. It's a great initiative what Special Olympics and Play Versus are doing. And congratulations to both, and that was a good game.
Congratulations to our winners in Canute. Thank you, Delavan, for the competition here. Just a little bit short of the championship, but they still do get second place. And we want to give one more shout out to all the people that make this possible. As hold up, we might be needing one more second here, getting a couple of messages from people behind the scenes, but that gives me some time to give some more shout outs as well here. Again, a shout out to Play Versus, shout out to Unified, shout out to Special Olympics, and a shout out to everybody at home, and including the schools that have continued to participate in this. Again, there are so many schools across the nation that participate in this, both in the United States as well as Canada and all of North America. It's an awesome initiative. It's an awesome event that we get to put on here today, as we have had 2 championships, one for the East as well as Central. So we got all of that out. We got all of our shout outs, all the shout outs to everybody. And last one will be to our production people behind the scenes. Again, all the people that are helping make this possible. It's the 3 talking heads here, as well as also the guys that are on the sticks behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, making sure everything goes right. And again, a shout out to you at home. We appreciate all of you for tuning in here today. That will conclude our Special Olympics and Unified Championships. We hope that you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend ahead, and we will see you next time.
Are you ready?